everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, I've got a brand new kit that'll be on the market real soon to share with you guys today. This is Tamiya's new T34-85 in 1/48 scale. It's a brand new kit that is due to arrive sometime next month, early 2021. It's a typical Tamiya kit. It's going to go together beautifully and have some fun doing it. And plus, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. We're going to really beat this one up a little bit more than we normally do. So do some heavy weathering on this kit. So let's get started. And we are going to start off assembling the lower hull by putting a little bit extra cement than we normally would inside these two little holders here that we have super glued the weight inside there. And this gives it a little bit of heft for these 48s because they're so small. It's nice to have a little bit of extra weight behind them. And we can also attach this center brace. And then we can go ahead and attach the sides as well of both sides of the hull, which I'm going to go ahead and do that right now with a little bit of cement, and we'll come back and show you how the front plate as well as the wheels go on. Next, what I've gone ahead and done is assembled all the three different types of wheels that will go on here. So we have our main road wheels, which are made up of three parts, the idler, and then the drive sprocket right here. So I've gone ahead and assembled all of those and sanded them, and then it's just a matter of going down the line and putting them into the correct position, just with a little bit of glue. Actually, I missed one of the sanding on there. I thought I sanded them all. And so what I'll do now is we'll just go ahead and glue all of the road wheels into place. As you can see right here, I've gone ahead and assembled one side of the track. And I always like to do this to kind of get a feel how it's going to go together. That way I can show you guys on the other side how easily it can be done. And what I'm going to basically do here is there are two different types of track on a T34-85. There is the A and B type. The is what I'm calling them here. One side has the guide horn on it, and the other side is just flat. Now, the big pieces have been made in such a way that you really can't mess them up because they've started the big piece or ended the big piece both with the same type of track. So you automatically know what's going to be hooked on next. The way these tracks go on are the other length of track, and the length right here is going to get glued right into place just as you would see right here. And you can see it already has a non-guide horn piece on. So once we get that glued into place, what we need to next do is we need to put 6 track links over here of the individuals. You'll notice right here that the last link does not have a guide horn on it, so we need to put a guide horn one on, followed up by a non-guide horn, and just keep going back and forth like that with it. And we're going to go ahead and put cement on those and allow the entire run of tracks to just set up for about 5 minutes. Once those tracks are set up for 5 minutes, they're tacky enough that they're going to stay together, but they won't get glued onto anything until we're ready to do it. So let me show you how that is done right now. Okay, we've gone ahead and put all of the bottom pieces on, as well as the parts that come up the side. And we've let it dry for a few minutes now here. So now what we should be able to do is just take it and just bend it right around. Oh yeah, there we go. Just like that. And now that we like the position that it's in, we can either A, put a rubber band on it and kind of tighten it into place. Do have to fix this little piece right here. It wants to flare a little bit. But that's the nice part. It's still somewhat tacky, so we have the ability to go in there and make any adjustments. And these tracks are pretty tiny. I know they're fairly large in 35th scale, but in 48th, everything gets a lot tinier. And then finally, we can just go ahead and drop the top piece in and get all of those to just mate up just the way it's supposed to. The other side fit really well, and it looks like with a little adjustment, this one will as well. So I will finish up gluing up all those around. I'll put a rubber band around them too, just to secure them in place so they don't fall out of whack, and then I'll come back and we'll start working on the upper hull. Okay, while the tracks are drying, we can go ahead and attach the back of the upper hull here. I've already gone ahead and attached the two mufflers as well as the muffler guards up on top there. I'm just putting a little bit of cement into place here, and you'll see that that just kind of snaps into place. And then up on top here, the grill is molded as a separate piece, which it too will just kind of like hear it click right into place there. So we'll let that set up for a little bit too. And there are a few other little things like some of the hooks that you can see right here. I'll go ahead and glue some of those little minor parts on. And also there are the inside of the other grills that are going to get glued inside, which you definitely want to take care of before, because then you can't put them in place. So I'll get those glued in right now, as well as all those little accessories, and then I'll show you how the top and bottom mate together. Now we can glue the upper and lower hull together, and kind of just clicks together just as you would expect right there. And you've also noticed too, I've put on the front hatch as well as the machine gun port. And now we need to go ahead and glue on all of the little grab handles that are on here. Now I've started sanding this one right here, and unfortunately there is a nub on the very top and then a nub on the bottom, which you can see right here that we still need to get rid of. But there is a lot of grab handles on this. So there are 4 on this side, 2 on the top, and 4 on the other side. So we have a total of 10 grab handles we need to sand up, and then we'll go ahead and just glue them into place just like that. Okay, we're going to show you how the parts of the turret go together now. And this is the side of the turret, and you first have to glue in this little peg thing here that will hold a poly cap just like that. And I've got this side glued together a little bit longer, so we can go ahead and put the poly cap inside there. Put the front of the turret in here as well, in that poly cap. Do the same thing on this side. Push that poly cap in like that. again, jumping a little bit ahead here, I've gone ahead and just assembled the rest of all the little parts, the little lifting hooks, all the little pieces like that, and then just sprayed the entire thing with a coat of Mr. Surfacer 1200. And that was just to check out any little flaws I may have left behind and fix those up, and then shot it with another coat to get a nice even finish on it. And as you can see right here, we've also just thrown the spare track just sitting up on top there. We're going to take that off as we paint it. Same thing with this front piece here, just to show you the last little parts that are on here. And we're going to turn this on and let you see a little 360 view of the entire vehicle, because as I look at this, sometimes when you build the really small scale stuff like 48th and 72nd scale, they sometimes look a little toyish, and I don't see that in this particular kit. This kit is very, very well designed, and the looks just like a miniaturized T34-85, and it looks, I think, is equally as good as the 35th scale models that are out on the market right now. So very happy with the overall build. Now it's going to come time to do the painting on it. As we finish up here, I am shooting LP29 Tamiya's lacquer paint, their olive drab number 2, which is a faded olive drab. And once that is dry, I am taking a splatter stencil from Ammo by Mig, and we're going to shoot a little darker color green over the top there, very, very lightly. And in this case, we're going to be using LP58, which is Tamiya's NATO green, which is just a little bit darker than the olive drab 2 that we put on. And once that completely dries, we are going to take a mixture of LP33, which is Tamiya's gray green, Imperial Japanese Navy, and mix it 50-50 with the NATO green, and kind of just get a faded light green on there, and then we're going to lightly spray over all the areas again. This way, between the dark and light green, we will get a nice little mixture of colors. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm talking about with the mottled effect that is going on there. Now remember too, we haven't weathered that yet too, so if it looks a little bit strong, don't forget a lot of it's going to get blended away. So now we can go ahead and install our decals. And there isn't a heck of a lot of decals on this kit. It's probably like a total of 5. So I will go ahead and put those into place right now. We will put a little bit of our Mark Fit Strong on to make sure they're going over all the surfaces really well. And then we'll shoot them with one coat of our dull coat. Now we're using a little bit of Tamiya Gray Green, and this is going to represent the brighter chips and scratches that then go all the way through the paint. And I know they look a little bright right now, but remember, this is just the first coat. We're going to be putting multiple other coats of washes and other types of colors of chips and rust, things like that, that'll really blend this all together. And you want to apply the paint wherever you think guys would be dragging things across, or bushes would be scratching into the paint, trees, things like that. And I'll apply more of that as we go around the vehicle. But I started working on this side, and you can see how, yes, it appears very, very bright. Even more so on camera. In person, it's even a little lighter. But we'll go ahead and finish off the whole thing, and then we'll show you the next couple of steps that will blend all of this weathering together. Okay, now we're at the point that we've got all the chipping on. Now we can do our washes and pigments on it. And we're kind of gonna, for lack of a better term, we're just gonna do kind of like a dealer's choice on this. Now I've gone ahead and sprayed the entire model with clear coat, and kind of a shiny clear coat. That way I think the washes flow a lot better across the top. So we're not going to go into too much depth because you guys have seen me do this many times on other vehicles, but we're going to start off by putting a coat of just clean thinner on here. Now you may notice too, there's weathering already on the top of the vehicle here, and that is because I've already weathered one whole side. To give you an idea, really wanted to beat the heck out of this one here, so we put lots of rust and dirt deposits, things like that on it there. So I'm just kind of quickly just going to show you what we're going to do with this, and you can use a wide variety of different colors to achieve similar effects. We've got here a dirt deposit, a dark rust, a light dirt deposit, and then a black panel liner, and then even another color of rust here as well. And we're just going to go over the entire vehicle with those, and I'm going to show you that right now. We're starting off using our rust color here. Very lightly. We don't want to go with too heavy on this first layer. And we're putting it over the whole thing, and then we're going to go back over with our flat brush, streak some of it down, and then remove some completely so it doesn't look like it's just solid rust across the top. And also just going to show you how the dust effects go on. So they go on pretty thick. And then as it dries, it turns kind of to a powder effect, and then we can knock off any of the excess here. A little enamel thinner to get the flow. And here we are. Here is our completed model, and as you can see, we did put probably a lot more weathering than I normally would put on a vehicle, but I think it looks good on the Russian armor. The green with the rust tones and the dirt tones all really look, I think, really good on this kit. Now I've included a US quarter right there in front of me to give you guys the size of scale, because this is a really tiny kit, a lot smaller than a normal 35th scale kit, of course. And what we'll do now is we'll turn the turntable on so you can get a 360 of the entire vehicle. See how we weathered it up here. As you can imagine, it was a Tamiya kit, so very nice to put together. And because it's one of the 48 scale kits, not as many parts as there would be in some of those other ones. I mean, so this is something that you could literally build uninterrupted in about a day and then get it painted the next day. So lots and lots of fun to work on one of these kits. Now, the Tamiya kit will be out sometime in mid to late January is the last thing I've heard on this one. And of course, we'll have it on our website at andyshhq.com, and of course in the store as well. So there you are, guys. I want to thank you as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.